Okay friends, it's time to get started on replacing our forward motor mount. Now for this, you're gonna have one bolt that comes through from the top. You're gonna have two more bolts that come on each of the sides at the top, but from underneath, you're gonna have to remove a skid plate so you can get to this bolt right here. With all that said, let's use a 17 millimeter and we're gonna come right down here to this bolt to remove it. Get that on there. Inspect your bolt, set it aside. Now that we have the center out, let's do both of those sides using a 14 millimeter socket. Once you have all that out, let's go ahead and climb underneath the front of the car. We're gonna have to remove this entire shield right here. You're gonna find a whole bunch of 10 millimeter headed bolts. Remove them all. Now that the shield's out of the way, we have a nice clear view of our last bolt right here. Use your 14 millimeter to remove this. All right, now at this point, we're gonna go ahead and get back up on top of the vehicle so we can start jacking up this engine and removing the mount. But to jack up the engine, I wanted to show you where we're gonna do it. I'm just gonna use a nice flat piece of wood like this so we don't damage the oil pan, and I'm gonna try to jack it up as close to this edge as possible. I don't wanna try to apply any pressure in the center here, even with the wood, because I could potentially damage the oil pan. Okay, so now that we have the engine jacked up, we have plenty of room in between this area. I'm gonna come from underneath the front bumper here, and then I'm just gonna start trying to get this out of here. There's gonna be some maneuvering involved. You're gonna have to twist it and turn it and spin it and all sorts of funny things. But overall, it should wanna come out. It just takes some patience. Just gonna keep twisting it here. Looks like it's very close. It's getting caught on the fan, but we can work it out of there. There it is, friends. All right, now it's time to get our new mount on there. Go ahead and take off the rubber insulator that should be on the top there. We'll go ahead and put that on in the end. I'm gonna get back underneath the vehicle here and we'll start sliding it in from the bottom. Once again, there's gonna be a lot of manipulation involved here. Twisting and turning and crying. You can do it. I'm gonna start with the end with the ears first. See if I can get that up in there. There we are. Now we can just try to get it into position, and then I'll continue from the top. Now from up top, we can put on our insulator. You've got this little piton right there. You want to pay attention to that. Make sure you have it in the proper position. Also underneath, you're going to have these. Those essentially need to sit perfectly on the top of the mount. Get the insulator on there. Now let's start putting in our two side bolts for this mount. Just go right through the mount and into that subframe down there. I'm just gonna start both of these in a couple threads here, and then we'll move along to that top bolt. Get the center bolt started here. Now that we have all those started, let's go ahead and carefully lower down this engine. Once it's all the way down, we'll get back underneath and start in that last bolt. Get this last bolt in here. Now for these bolts, we're going to torque each of them to 48 foot-pounds. Let's do this lower one first. Bottom that out. Now we can just go ahead and take our shield. We're going to put it into position, start in all of our mounting bolts, and then you can go ahead and tighten them up. Now let's get back up inside the engine compartment. We're going to go ahead and tighten up this center one here. Tighten up both those side bolts. Now let's torque these to 48 foot-pounds as well.